I think it's a good time to take a trip down memory lane and reflect on some of the great what-ifs.
What's going to happen with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? Man, I mean, Atlanta would be perfect for Lamar Jackson.
The league would look a whole lot different today, that's for sure. Let's dive into the 10 craziest NFL offseason rumors that we wish came true. Tom Brady bolts to the Chargers. On March 17th of 2020, Tom Brady announced on social media that he would not re-sign with the New England Patriots. It wasn't a case of Bill Belichick kicking him out the door. Brady simply decided that he needed to finish his career somewhere else. Immediately, the Los Angeles Chargers emerged as a rumored landing spot for Brady. Ahead of 2023 agency, Los Angeles announced that it would not re-sign franchise great Philip Rivers, who would later sign a one-year deal with the Indianapolis Colts. Brady wound up signing with the Buccaneers, and obviously he regrets nothing after leading them to a Super Bowl 55 championship. But in hindsight, we kinda wish the Brady Chargers rumor had come true. I mean, for one, having the greatest player of all time play in the country's sports hotbed would have been a very epic sight on its own. Also, I mean, we would have had Brady versus Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs twice a year. Those Bolts, always victims of unfortunate breaks, would have had the GOAT to help them emerge as contenders. The Chargers can't regret how it played out since, they got Justin Herbert with the number 6 pick that year, but something about Brady in LA would have been a lot more entertaining than TB12 on a small market team like the Bucs. Honestly, it would have been even more special for Brady's legacy if he had led arguably the NFL's most snake-bitten franchise to its first Lombardi trophy. Peyton Manning flies to the Jets. Peyton Manning missed the entire 2011 season recovering from off-season neck surgery. The Indianapolis Colts completely unraveled without Manning, sinking to the bottom of the standings with a 2-14 record. So the Colts obtained the number 1 pick in the 2012 NFL Draft. The hotshot prospect that year was Stanford's Andrew Luck. For Indy, it was a pretty easy choice to release the 36-year-old Manning and take Luck with the top pick. Manning spoke with the Colts, and the two sides agreed to part ways. Those who closely followed the Manning free agent sweepstakes of 2012 will remember that seemingly half of the league went after him. In the early stages, the New York Jets made it clear that they were very interested. Then Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum later told ESPN that they reached out to Manning's agent, but he had no interest in coming there. He wound up signing with the Denver Broncos, and the Jets made the mistake of extending Mark Sanchez. We know everything worked out fine for Manning and the Broncos, with 2 AFC titles and a Super Bowl 50 triumph, but we still feel like he would have been the perfect fit for the Jets. I mean, for starters, you'd have Manning versus Brady twice a year. Rex Ryan, the defensive genius, would have had the fortunes of working with an above-average QB. If the Jets could go to consecutive AFC championship games with Sanchez, then just imagine how far they could have gone with Manning. Randy Moss joins Brett Favre in Green Bay. After 2 disappointing seasons with the Oakland Raiders, Randy Moss hit the trade block before the 2007 NFL Draft. Immediately, the Green Bay Packers and New England Patriots emerged as the frontrunners. Behind the scenes, then Packers QB Brett Favre was lobbying hard for the team to get Moss. In 2023, The Athletic posted a story about just how close the trade was to actually happening. Seattle Seahawks GM John Schneider, then working in Green Bay, said that they went to bed thinking that Moss was Titletown bound. But it was the Patriots who got Moss for the low price of a 4th-round draft pick. Favre was openly angry about the trade, and a report revealed that he had even requested a trade himself before his anger cooled. Yeah, Moss was awesome and all in New England during their record-breaking 2007 season, but come on, Favre and Moss would have been lights out together. And who knows, maybe Favre never leaves Green Bay in the first place if he had clicked with Moss right off the bat. Also, the Packers could have totally won Super Bowl 42 with a Favre-Moss tandem. But instead, Favre's Packers and Moss's Patriots both had their dreams dashed by the New York Giants. Raiders trade for Ben Roethlisberger. In the 2010 offseason, Ben Roethlisberger's tenure with the Pittsburgh Steelers was awfully close to ending. Roethlisberger was initially hit with a 6-game suspension for the 2010 season after multiple women made disturbing allegations against him. He eventually got the ban reduced to 4 games. But the Steelers, unhappy with Roethlisberger's off-the-field issues, decided to shop him around in the offseason. Ahead of the 2010 draft, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that the Steelers were fielding trade offers for their two-time Super Bowl champion winning QB. Pittsburgh was reportedly eyeing a top 10 pick in return. The Raiders and St. Louis Rams spoke to Pittsburgh. But when the Rams made it clear that they didn't want Big Ben, the signs pointed to Roethlisberger landing with Oakland instead. This was not meant to be, however. The Steelers wound up keeping Roethlisberger, who would spend his entire career there before retiring in 2022. Now, we're not sure how much the Raiders would have improved with Roethlisberger, but one way or another, it would have certainly been entertaining. And we could have seen some fun AFC West battles between Big Ben's Raiders, Philip Rivers' Chargers, and eventually Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos. Rob Gronkowski heads to Motor City. The New England Patriots' bid to repeat as Super Bowl champions in 2017 ended with a heartbreaking loss to Nick Foles' Philadelphia Eagles. Minutes after the loss, superstar tight end Rob Gronkowski told reporters that he was considering retirement. Patriots fans awaited in angst for a decision from Gronk as rumors swirled that he could not stand playing for Bill Belichick anymore. Eventually, Gronk agreed to come back to the Patriots in 2018. Early that season, Gronk also confirmed reports that he was nearly traded to the Detroit Lions. Gronk, however, told the Patriots that he would just retire if the deal was completed. But he just had to stay in New England to win his third of 4 career Super Bowl rings. Lamar Jackson joins Falcons flock. In the 2023 offseason, Jackson stunned everyone by revealing that he had requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens. Jackson had grown understandably frustrated with the lack of progress in contract extension negotiations. The Atlanta Falcons immediately stood out as a possible landing spot for Jackson here. They had a pressing need at QB, and Jackson could have joined a star-studded offense, but Jackson and the Ravens eventually agreed to play nice, and he signed a 5-year extension worth $260 million. And with that, the dream of Jackson solving Atlanta's QB woes had ended. Staying in Baltimore only led to more disappointing playoff losses that have kept him ringless, though. Steelers reunite the Watt brothers. After a disastrous 2020 season, the Houston Texans decided to begin a scorched earth rebuild. That started with the release of a franchise icon and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in J.J. Watt, who was running out of time to pursue a ring. Right away, fans and pundits linked J.J. Watt to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not just because younger brother T.J. Watt was there, but the Steelers were still in win-now mode and could have given Watt a shot at a title. But in a surprise, Watt decided to sign with a mediocre Arizona Cardinals team instead. And so ended the chance of watching two brothers and future Hall of Famers wreak havoc on opposing offensive linemen and quarterbacks together. J.J. Watt retired after the 2022 season, and the dreams of joining forces with his brother had ended. Primetime heads to South Beach. Deion Sanders' one-year stint with the San Francisco 49ers in 1994 couldn't have gone any better. He took home Defensive Player of the Year honors and led the 49ers to a Super Bowl 29 victory. After the 1994 season, however, Sanders took his sweet precious time to find a new home. In the summer of 1995, Primetime told the Dolphins to stop fooling the fans and call his agent. In other words, he wanted to come to Miami. But no, the Dolphins were never aggressive enough to seal the deal. He waited until September to sign a long-term deal with the Dallas Cowboys, leading them to a Super Bowl 30 championship that year. Brett Favre teams up with John Gruden in Tampa. After the Packers' heartbreaking loss to the Giants in the 2007 NFC Championship game, Favre decided to retire, handing the keys to the car over to Aaron Rodgers. But Favre created an awkward situation by deciding that he actually wanted to continue playing. He had just assumed that the Packers would welcome him back with open arms. But Mike McCarthy and the front office were firm on moving forward with Rodgers, and so led to an ugly split with Favre. John Gruden and the Buccaneers went hard after Favre, and in a 2018 ESPN story, it was noted that Tampa Bay coaches thought they had actually gotten Favre, only to learn on television that the New York Jets had acquired the future Hall of Famer for a 4th-round pick. Favre's one-year stint in Gotham was a disaster. The Bucs barely missed the playoffs with a 9-7 record, having to roll with a lackluster tandem of Jeff Garcia and Brian Griese. In hindsight, things could have been way different if Favre and Chucky had teamed up. I mean, hell, the Bucs had an elite defense, and the NFC was wide open that year. Favre could have totally won a second ring in Tampa instead of flopping with the Jets. Aaron Rodgers' 49ers dream becomes a reality. After pondering his future in Green Bay, Rodgers had a brief falling out with Packers GM Brian Gutekunst in the 2021 offseason. Before the draft, the 3-time MVP then requested a trade from the only NFL team he had ever known. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio reported at the time that Rodgers had the Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, and San Francisco 49ers all on his wish list. 49ers, well, they reached the 2021, 2022, and 2023 NFC Championship games and lost to Kansas City in overtime of Super Bowl 58. But man, seeing how stacked those 49ers teams were, Rodgers could have easily won a ring or two with his childhood team if a trade actually materialized. But hey, which other crazy NFL offseason rumors do you wish had come true? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.